This is my presentation for post-formal thinking. My name is Ponder-Terrell. So I'm going to begin with Piaget's stages of cognitive development. So when we were in our undergraduate studies, we discussed Piaget's stages of cognitive development extensively. And as we move through the stages, we know that the developmental thinking moves all the way to formal thinking, whereas Piaget thought that that was the final thought of thinking, the final stage of thinking. However, it's been found that post formal thinking is actually the final um, stage of thinking. So we're going to move on to this. Go back here. All right, so for post formal thinking, as I went through the articles, those articles were completely overwhelming. There was so much information, there was so much to try to draw from. So I kind of decided just to simplify the information that was obtained from the articles. So we're going to start with uh, relativistic thinking, and I'm trying to read exactly what's on my screen because it's actually super small. Let me readjust. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger here. So we have relativistic thinking, which is the first observable stage in adult thinking. It involves multiple worldviews. This is where the thinker is able to understand the truth, and it's observed by one person, or it's observed that what one person may believe to be the truth may not actually be observed by another. So this is where the multiple worldviews comes in. So people are able to think differently once they've gotten to relativistic thinking. It also allows thinkers to imagine multiple frames of reference. So then we're going to move over to dialectical thinking. This is where thinkers embrace change and contradiction. They gave the example about evolution and how people are able to actually interpret evolution in different ways. Dialectical thinking impacts thinkers' understanding of truth. So, what may be true and what may actually not be the full truth. Dialectical thinking also has thinkers with awareness of the constantly changing world. So, understanding that the world is not stagnant, that changes are actually happening as we speak. Dialectical thinkers actually embrace ambiguity as well as uncertainty, so they are able to question things around them. We're going to move over to metasystemic thinking, where thinkers can find commonalities in multiple theories and combine them into new structures. Metasystemic thinking, these thinkers are able to compare and contrast things. They're able to transform things. They're able to synthesize information, and they're able to use this information into larger systems. Metasystematic thinking or metasystemic thinking, this is where thinkers embrace multiple systems of logic and thought. And as we were going through the articles, we all realized that um, formal thinking had to do a lot with logic, but then the post-formal thinking has to do not only with logic, but it also has to do with things like emotion. So we're going to go down just a little bit to critical thinking. So we have critical thinking, which is where you have a self-production of knowledge. You're able to gain knowledge yourself. You're able to dig in and find the truth. You're able to deconstruct things and analyze things. You're able to see things not only subjective, but objectively. And you need to be able to use subjective thinking as well as objective thinking in order to use post-formal thinking. So then we have here some implications for instruction. As I was going through the articles, there were several mentions about being able to use post-formal thinking and being able to think through things in with the deeper thought process, of course, and be able to implicate these things into your classroom. So if you are in post-formal thinking and you're using that in your classrooms, you have to make sure that you are in tune with your spirituality. You should be able to embrace personal relationships. You should be able to embrace affect. That means you should be able to um, sympathize with others. You should be able to use your imagination. And you should be able to follow ethics, ethical things, making the right decision, doing the right things. All right, so here are my references. So this is where the information came from, as well as the reference for the picture that I used for Piaget's formal thinking. Hope you enjoyed it.